this video, we will talk about how to solve fractional exponent values by taking an example of pH calculation. I was getting requests from a few of my subscribers that they are finding difficulty in solving pH and hydrogen ion concentration calculation. And also I know that the students who are preparing for various competitive exams must encounter fractional exponent values. So I thought to discuss both in the same video by taking an example of pH calculations to explore how to solve fractional exponent values. So watch the video till end because I'll start from the basic value first. So there is a formula to calculate the pH, and that is a very simple formula which is equal to the minus logarithm value of concentration of hydrogen ion. Correct? So we will start from a question to calculate the pH of a solution having hydrogen ion concentration of this much. Correct? So if you know the formula, it would be if you know the formula, you will do it in a few minutes. But let's explore step by step to all. But let's explore every step. Correct? So put this value. We need to put this value, the concentration value, in the formula of pH minus log, and in the place of hydrogen ion concentration you need to put this value. Correct? So the second step would be pH is equal minus, just put a bracket. Just put a bracket because this minus is a big minus which covers the overall value. So you need to just put a bracket out of it. Correct? Now the third step is to, you need to put one more bracket and okay. So you need to calculate the we will calculate the pH of a solution having hydrogen ion concentration of this much. So if you know the formula, it will take only a few minutes to calculate this value. So pH is equal minus log concentration of H plus, and in this concentration of H plus we will place the given value. Correct? So the next step would be to place a bracket along with, to solve this value, like minus log 4.89 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 10. So first you need to keep safe this minus value because this minus is the overall minus of this to this value. Correct? So we are keeping this minus safe by putting a bracket. Second, what we did is that we can divide in two steps. We can divide this value in two steps. Always remember, when you solve for the log values, you just need to break in the simpler forms, like log 4.89 has a different value and log 10 to the power minus 10 has a different value. So if we solve this value, we need to put a positive sign by separating and by keeping a log in front of the 10 to the power minus 10. So this is the simplest way to solve for the log values. So what we did is that we separated log 4.9 and put a positive sign, and along with this positive sign another log comes in front of 10 to the power minus 10. Correct? I am clearing all the basic steps so that any newcomer will also understand how to solve for the pH problems. Correct? The third step is to write or find out the value of log 4.89. So if you have log calculator, you can find it out. If you have log table, you can find it out, and its value is 0.689. So you need to just put 0.689 in place of log 4.89, and after that, closing the bracket, just put a positive sign. And just how to calculate log 10 to the power minus 10. So for this, always remember that you need to put the exponent power in front of the log when you are solving this problem or any other log problem. If any value which comes in the power of 10, it comes forward along with its sign, correct? So it would be equal to minus 10 log 10, correct? So in the next step, we will find out the value of log 10, and since log 10 is equal to 1, we put this one value along with a multiplication sign with this minus 10. So what you found is that now pH is equal, you can omit the big bracket right here because we are simplifying the problem now. So putting this value 0.689 and minus 10 multiplied by 1 is equal to minus 10, and when this bracket opens, this minus and plus is equal to minus, correct? So minus 10 plus 0.689, because this minus is the overall minus, so it need to be subtracted from each other, and the sign always would be that sign which comes forward with the greater value. So the value of it would be minus 9.3, and always remember that there is one more minus outside. So when you open up this bracket, you will find that it would be plus 9.3 or simply 9.3, and the resultant solution is basic, correct? So this is how I hope you understand that why we have put bracket outside these values, correct? We have started with a very simple question. Now we will now discuss a fractional exponent value by taking an example of, like, calculate the pH of a solution having hydrogen ion concentration of 6.34 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 4.5, correct? The first point is to put the formula, the second point is to put the values, the third point is to put the bracket along with the positive sign in the place of this multiplication sign, along with placing one more log in front of this value, the right value, correct? Now the fourth point is to find the value of log 6.34, which is equal to 0.802, and again we will solve this value log 10 raised to the power minus 4.5. For this we need to jump this 4.5 along with this sign in front of the log, just like this, minus 4.5 log 10, correct? Since log 10 is equal to 1, we will just copy this value as it is along with its sign and just put the value of log 10, and then we will solve by omitting the big bracket, and by simplifying we will find out that it would be equal to plus 0.802 minus 4.5. So definitely we will do subtraction, and the sign comes which which would be on the greater value, correct? So minus 3.698, and when you open up this bracket, it will become plus or simply the value, and since the value which comes 3.698, it is less than 7, so the resultant solution is acidic. So now you will say that there is no difference in the fractional exponent value when you are solving for the pH problem, and you are correct. But what if you need to calculate the concentration of hydrogen ion when the value of pH is given? So the formula for this is concentration of H plus is equal 10 raised to the power minus pH. Fine, this formula also seems very simple, and we will solve it like by taking a simple value, like what is the concentration of hydrogen ion when the pH is 8. So simply because concentration of H plus is equal 10 to the power minus pH, you just need to replace or put the value of pH in the formula, and you find out what is the concentration of hydrogen ion in the solution. It is very, very simple. But the problem arises when the hydrogen ion concentration value, when you need to find the hydrogen ion concentration value when the pH is fractional. Now it is our real actual problem. So the value of pH given in this question is 9.34. Simply you need to put the formula first, and by putting the value of pH you are finding it would be equal to 10 raised to the power minus 9.34. But you cannot give this value as an answer, correct? So you need to solve for this value, and if you are using log calculator or Google, you will find out that 10 raised to the power minus 9.34 gives this much value: 4.5708818961488E minus 10. So this gives so much of pain because you will not found this value as an option in your examination question, correct? So what should you do? The main question is that. So to solve equation like this or the problem like this, it is very simple, that you just need to put only or select only 2 decimal values. Okay, suppose it is 4.570 and very long, just select 4.2 decimal values, correct? The value showing 2 decimal values. So you are selecting 4.57, correct? Now and this E has no significance in your answer, correct? So what would you do by this minus 10 value? So you just need to put this minus 10 to the power of 10, correct? So you have selected 4.57 out of this big value. You need to put a multiply sign, and then the value which is written after minus, you just need to put this value as the power of 10, and this would be your answer, correct? Now it becomes simple to you to find out the concentration of hydrogen ion or any other calculation. If you are doing, here we are taking an example of hydrogen ion and pH value. So by taking another example, it will be more clear to you. So again, here the given value of pH is 3.83. So we will put the value in the powers of 10, and we will find that it would be equal to 1.479108E minus 4. So what will you do? You need to select 1.47 only up to 2 decimal values, and put a multiply sign, and this minus 4 will come or jump, and this minus 4 value comes into the power of 10. So this would be your answer, the final answer. If the pH is 3.83, your hydrogen ion concentration would be 1.47 multiplied by 10 raised to the power minus 4. So how do you find this video? Please write in the comment section, and just go ahead with more values from your practice papers or examinations, and just write in the comment section that how do you find it. Keep revising.